and we should be live. Nathan Burnett, episode 60, guys. I originally was going to have a guest on this episode, but CJ didn't have a mic, and Jeremy and a couple other people couldn't make it today, so I'm just going to rock it with myself today. So it'll probably be a bit of a shorter episode, because I don't have too many things planned, but I do have some big announcements for you guys, and then we'll get into some of the more fun stuff, like talking 25 under 25, Lebron's 40K, and also ranking players without knowing what's coming next. So basically, we hit 1K. So I've talked a little bit about that in some other videos. I'm really excited for it. Thank you guys so much. We're about to hit 2K actually, but with that, I'm dropping a 1K special here soon, so really excited for that. I hope you guys enjoy that. I got some other stuff planned for 1K, which again I talked about in the special, so go watch that. But you guys can support me finally with super chats, as well as memberships when those come out. I already have the membership tiers set up. They're basically the same as my Patreon, if y'all go join that as well. But the reason I haven't released the memberships yet is because I don't want you guys to pay for anything that I don't have prepared yet. So there's one tier that is the highest tier for my memberships and my Patreon, and that will get you into something that I've been preparing for a long time. So some of you may not know, but I'm actually a computer science major, which means that I can code. I know a lot about computers, a lot about programming, and I'm about to graduate in like 2 months as well. And so I want to do something with that that's fun. And so I sort of had this idea where I would take a bunch of player data and basically create my own simulator, right? Where it can try and simulate games. Now, obviously, it's not going to be the best because there are other people that get paid with a whole bunch of other people to form a team that creates this type of software. So it's not like I'm saying like, oh, my software is as good as the people that make it professionally that bet on sports with the software. Sorry for the weird cut and editing there, but basically I'm working on a basketball sim, and it's going to take all the data and it's going to simulate games, right? And it's not going to be as great as some of the other simulators out there, because again, the people that make those simulators are working on a team of a whole bunch of people with some of the best code in order to make that happen. So mine is not going to be that good, or it'll be good, but not as good as that, because again, that's like a whole nother level. But basically, what is the point? Where am I going with this? So if any of y'all actually know the YouTuber Doug, this is actually similar to some of the content he's done, where he has Twitch chat sort of interact with his stream, and there's a code that runs with his Twitch chat to affect his game, and it's going to be sort of the same thing as that. And what do I mean by that, right? So some of y'all are probably going to get bored by this, because again, it has to do with coding and not basketball. But I will actually show you guys real quick. So what you're looking at right here is basically code for the simulator, right? If I basically show you guys, like, select star from 76ers, right? That's going to give me all of the data that I have in this table. So I have, now obviously there's some players that no longer play on the 76ers in here, because again, I need to update it, right? But this has all the stats for every player that is on the 76ers, right? And it also has Boolean values about whether or not they're injured and everything like that. It has their age, their games started, minutes played, and so on, right? The same thing you would sort of see on Basketball Reference. And if I go to like the Bucks, for instance, it's the same thing. So again, I haven't updated this since before the season, so I still have Drew Holiday on here, but you see Giannis and all of their stats and so on. And then I have another one on here called Contracts, Draft Lottery, Games Played, and then I have a Western Conference and an Eastern Conference one. And then I have a table for waived or G League, right? The reason for that is because I already have functions here that basically will, if I need to add in a team, which I'll explain here in a second, then I already have a function that will do that for me. And I also have a trade function. So like I said, James Harden is now on the Clippers, Drew Holiday is now on the Celtics, and Dame is on the Bucks. So I have a function called trade already, which will basically take a player from team 1 and it will insert it into team 2 and delete that person from team 1. And so if I wanted to trade Dame to the Bucks, it would delete Dame's data from the Blazers table and add him into the Bucks table. And then I have a waived function as well, so that if a player is waived, it adds them to the waived or G League table that I showed you. And then if I need to if I need to bring them back from the G League, then there's a function that does the reverse of this as well. But why am I showing you guys this, right? Because again, like, this is all code. Like, what does it mean to you guys? So again, I have that function called add team, right? So what I'm proposing to you guys is, once I make this simulator, I'm going to basically simulate games, it's going to, I'm not just going to spit out the numbers. I want it to be a cool spectacle where it sort of plays the game, right? And I'm going to stream sort of what the simulator does and everything, which I think will be cool, so that you guys can bet channel points, because if you watch Twitch, you get channel points. You guys can bet channel points on which team's going to win in the simulator, which I think will be cool. But also, it's sort of like fantasy basketball to the next level. And so I'm going to let you guys add your teams to this simulator, right? So rather than just having the 30 NBA teams, we could have 30 actual NBA teams and then 20 teams from you guys, making 50 teams in the league. And then you guys can compete with each other and the actual NBA teams as well, and see who comes out on top. It's basically like a version of My GM or My League from 2K, but with me and the other fans on this channel, and basically like this community, which I think will be a really cool idea. So that's one of my biggest announcements, because I have not announced it to you guys yet, and that's something I've been working on for a while, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys are excited for that. So basically, I'm going to let you guys make your own roster, make your own team, just like My GM, and then place it into the simulator like My League, and basically simulate how a game would work with those teams and those rosters, which I think will be a really fun idea. And there will be like a whole website for this. There will be like a leaderboard, all that. And that's why I didn't want to announce it for a while, because it's going to take a lot of work. So I can't promise you when it will actually come out. But when it does come out, trust me, I'm hoping it'll be fun. It'll be cool. And yeah. So with that as well, I wanted to show you guys something else that I've been working on. And I'll put it in editing because it's kind of hard to pull it up on stream. But I actually I also have a graphic design certification as well. And so with that, I can make logos for you guys, which I've done for some of my guests that have come on the podcast in the past. And so again, in editing, I'll show, these are some of the logos that I've made before. And I will probably redo some of these because some of these aren't that great. But you got to remember this was like 3 years ago, so I can remake some of these as well a little bit better. But this one is the one that I'm most fond of. Again, like people that are watching live can't see it, but for editing, you guys will be able to see it. And this is also sort of a city edition jersey that I would do for this sort of team, right? And so again, that's going to be part of the tier as well, is that you guys get added to the simulator and you also get a logo made for your team and everything. So it's like really official and everything like that. So as far as I can think of, that's kind of like the only announcement, but it is a pretty big announcement, and I wanted to finally tell you guys about that and hopefully get you guys excited for that. So but that's about it. So let's get into the next thing. So LeBron 40K. LeBron hit 40K. Obviously it's a big moment, but I still have Michael Jordan as my GOAT, and a lot of people are going to be mad about that, debate me about that, but it's just how it is. MJ is always going to be my GOAT unless somebody really crazy comes into the league. But I wanted to sort of give you guys some stats, and I already talked a little bit about this with Up the Score, and we sort of went back and forth for a couple minutes. But I'm just going to give you guys some stats, and then you guys can debate, right? Now, LeBron hit 40K, but LeBron played 400 more games than Michael Jordan and took almost 3,000 more free throws. Now, again, I'm not taking a side here, even though I do think that MJ is the GOAT, because while LeBron does have 3,000 more free throws per game, MJ actually has more free throw attempts than LeBron. However, for usage rating, let me pull that up real quick. I was supposed to have all the screenshots pulled up, and for some reason they went away. Okay, so yeah, Michael Jordan averaged 30.1 points per game in his career, but he averaged 8.2 free throw attempts per game for his career. LeBron has 400 more games played at 27 points per game, so still almost 30, which is why I still say that LeBron is the longevity GOAT. I'm not going to debate that. And he's at 7.7 free throws a game. Now, I always joke about LeBron being a flopper and all that. So that's why I'm making the option to you guys while I give these stats for you to make your own decision. MJ has 24,000 shot attempts, and LeBron has 29,000 shot attempts. MJ had 8,772 free throws, while LeBron had 11,282, but MJ had a 33.2 usage rating, and LeBron only had a 31.5. So if we boost LeBron's usage rating and give him more minutes per game, then he's sure to get more foul calls, more free throws, and I don't know. Again, I'm not going to debate that LeBron is amazing, but to me, he still is not the GOAT, and I still take MJ. And again, that's something that I always argue is the difference between eras, and people always say that this era is too soft and things like that. And I won't really get into that, but I do agree that there's a lot more flopping in this era. So I just wanted to give those stats to you guys. And do you think that LeBron's 40K, or a lot of these scoring records for that matter, because KD again recently became 9th in all-time scoring, do you guys think... What the fuck is banging? Do you guys think that... Do you guys think that LeBron should have an asterisk next to his 40K or not? So basically, with those stats, do you think that LeBron should have a 40K or should have an asterisk next to his 40K? Again, like, people argue that this era is a lot softer, and I don't know, you can make that argument, but me personally, I don't really know which era is softer. I do think that the 80s definitely was way more aggressive, but I do think that flopping has obviously been a huge problem with this era. And again, it's just, does that factor into the scoring record? So, and not just LeBron's, but all of the ones recently, like Russell Westbrook's triple doubles, KD being 9th in scoring all now, and yeah. So now for the last thing on here that I have. Again, I said that this episode was going to be a bit shorter, so I was originally going to do this with my guest, but again, I don't have a guest tonight. So I'm going to try to rank players without knowing which player is next. Now, how am I able to do that with myself? Because again, if I had a guest, I could ask them random players in order, and they don't know who's next because I'm reading off of the list and they don't see the list. But if I know the list, then I know who's next, so how would I be able to do that? So instead, what I did is I wrote all the players on a piece of paper, and I basically shuffled the papers, and I'll even shuffle them again on camera. Like, not looking at any of them. Right? So these are all shuffled now. So basically, I'm going to pull a name, or pull whatever sticky note is on top in a random order, and then I'll have to give them a ranking from 1 to, I think 30 is in here, without knowing which player that I pull off the top next. So let's get into it. And I'll even place them behind me so that I'm not like looking at it. So first one we got is PG-13. This season he's been doing really good. I think he was better with the Pacers than with the Clippers, to be honest, though. So I think that it's in his name. I'll put Paul George at 13. Next, we got Jimmy Butler. He was, I believe he was injured recently, which is why he did not make the All-Star team. But, you know, we're getting into March, we're getting into April, so we're going to start seeing playoff Jimmy here soon. But everybody knows that Jimmy Butler plays average for the first few months of the NBA, and then once February hits, he starts going off. So I'm going to go ahead and put him, I'll put him at 15. Then we got CP3. So CP3's been getting older recently. I'm gonna put him, you know, he hasn't done too much with the Warriors this season, so I'm gonna put him down at 21. Alright, next we got Trae Young. Trae's been doing really good. I think he's averaging, last time I checked, it was 27 and 10. I think he's above Paul George this season, definitely. He should have been an all-star. So I'm going to put him, I'll put him at 11, because I put Paul George at 13. Next we got Zion. He was injured the last couple seasons. Now he's playing finally, but the Pelicans aren't doing anything too crazy. I think I put somebody else at 15 already. So let's do 17. Let me write the numbers on here so that I don't accidentally put somebody in the same spot. 19, 21, 15. All right. Alright, next we got Giannis. I think Giannis has to be top 5. Giannis has to be top 5. The problem is I have Jokic and I believe like Jokic and Luka has to be in this list. There's no way I picked a random 30 and he wasn't in here. I'm gonna put Giannis at 2. Let's put Giannis at 2. Next, we got KD. I think KD is a solid 10 pick. I think KD is a solid 10. So let's put him at 10. Next, we got Curry. I think Curry is below the top 5 right now. Or he's in the top 5, but he's low top 5. So I think we already put, we put Giannis at 2. Nobody else has been in the top 5 yet. So let's put Curry at 5. We got Draymond next. Oh, Draymond's going to be low for me. I put CP3 at 21. So let's put Draymond at 20. DeMar DeRozan. Pretty good player. But I do think that the Bulls have been lacking for a couple seasons. So let's put CP3. I already used 20 and 21. See, that's the thing, is like I don't know who's coming next, so the list is gonna be screwed up. But let's put DeRozan at 23. CJ McCollum. CJ hasn't really done too much lately. He's on the Pelicans, I believe, with Zion right now, but nothing too exciting is really happening. So let's put him at 25. Then we got Booker. Where I put KD at 10, right? So let's put Booker at 12 between Trey and Paul George. Then we got Dame. Dame's been doing well this season. A lot of people said he was washed at the beginning of the season, but he's starting to come back. I got KD at 10, Trey at 11, Booker 12, PG at 13, and then Butler's at 15. Let's put Dame at... Should I put him at 14? Let's put Dame at 14. Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert, again, like I've been saying, pretty good the last couple seasons. He was Defensive Player of the Year, obviously, a couple times. And then he sucked the year after he got traded, but he's back on an upward curve. So let's put him at 24. AD. Who do I have at 15 right now? 15, 16. I'm going to put him at 16 between Butler and Zion. And I know people are going to hate on that, but I've been an AD hater forever. So y'all can fight me in the comments, because I honestly don't really like AD that much to begin with. So who is my 17? Zion was 17. I got LeBron next. Question is, KD was 10. Let's put LeBron at 9. There we go. We got Luka. Giannis was already number 2. Let's put Luka number 3. Alright, next we got Kawhi. Kawhi. I don't want to put him too high, but I've already used like most of my teens already. I don't want to put him too high or too low. I think I should have put him at 15. Have I used a 12 yet? Booker was my 12. Where's my 14? Do I have a 14 yet? Dame was my 14. Oh no. See, this is where, when you start getting lower into the list, you realize that you should have reserved more spots, especially on the even numbers. So, I got Draymond at 20, CJ McCollum at 25, DeRozan at 23, 24, 21. I guess I gotta go 22. I know that's too low, but that's what I gotta do. Kyrie. Again, that's... I'll put him at... I already used 23. Let's put him at like 27. I got Middleton next. After Middleton, let's do 28 because I put Kyrie at 27. I got Spida next. Donovan Mitchell. Let's put him at number... I know it's too high, but let's do 8. Here we go. Jokic. I'm gonna put number 1. That's the number 1 spot. Alright. Then we got Westbrook. Westbrook's gonna be 29. Especially because he just got injured. Who else do I got? I got Ayton next. Ayton's gonna be the 30. Easily Ayton's the 30. He's the worst one on this list. He's gotta be. Alright, then we got Ja. So, again, ranking them without knowing what's coming next. It's gonna be a broken list, but I gotta put Ja at like 4. And then I should have put this one at 4. I got Embiid next. Who's my 5? I got somebody at like 5, I think. But I'll put him at whatever the next top 10 spot is. I think it's like 6. Simmons. I'll put him in whichever slot the 20 of the 20s is left. I think it's like 20, 24, 26, 27, something like that. And then I got Beal next. So he'll also go in whichever is left of the 20s. And then finally, last one, we got Tatum. So he'll be the last one in the top 10s. So through editing, I will compile the list and show what it looks like here. But yeah. Again, I said this episode was going to be a bit of a shorter one, guys. I was originally going to record with some people, but I ended up not having anybody that's available, and then I had some backups, and then the backups were unavailable as well. So I tried to just solo an episode, think of some fun things to do, and the big announcement as well. So that's about it, guys. I'll see y'all in the next one. It's episode 60. Peace out.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.